PGA Tour officials found themselves in the hot seat on Tuesday, answering questions from a Senate subcommittee with 9/11 families looking on. The officials defended last month's controversial framework agreement to join forces with Saudi Arabia-backed LIV Golf, claiming the planned partnership is necessary because of the, quote, existential threat the new league poses to the established PGA Tour.
And joining us now from Capitol Hill is ABC senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott and ABC News contributor Mike Muse here in studio. Good afternoon to the both of you.
Good afternoon.
All right, Rachel, we'll start with you. Yeah, good to see you. What can we expect from this hearing, and can Congress do anything to stop this deal?
Yeah, look, there is a big divide here in Washington over what exactly Congress can do and whether or not they have the power to intervene at all. But on a very base level here, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say that they do have some level of concern about this possible deal becoming a monopoly. They have concern about the Saudi influence over an American business, especially given their human rights record, pointing to the fact that U.S. intelligence concluded that the Crown Prince approved an operation to capture or kill Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, raising questions about their influence and their role in the 9/11 attacks. And so lawmakers say this all amounts to sports washing, this idea that the Saudis are trying to throw billions of dollars to soften their image around the world. So even Republicans who share those concerns say this is a private issue and that there's no role or room for the government in the middle of this potential deal. But Democrats say they're on a fact-finding mission, and if they can't legislate, at the very least, they can issue a report with recommendations going forward.
Now, Rachel, I know the 9/11 families were in the room during that hearing. What are they saying right now?
Yeah, those 9/11 families coming face to face with those PGA Tour officials. And I had the opportunity to talk to one woman. Her name is Terry. Her husband was on the 104th floor of the North Tower. She remembers getting that dreaded phone call when the plane hit. He let her know what happened. His office was above the plane hit, and that was the last time that they ever spoke. And you could see the pain in her eyes, that she's still very much healing from this. And she said that this possible deal is a gut punch. It is like ripping open a wound, ripping off the Band-Aid of a wound that is still trying to heal. And she wasn't the only one that was there. Seated in that front row were several families who were impacted by the 9/11 terrorist attacks. They were wearing these red baseball caps, still calling for justice.
Yeah, a lot of people still offended by this deal. Mike, let's talk the B word that Rachel mentioned, billion. With Saudi Arabia's $700 billion public investment fund up against them, did the PGA Tour really have a choice?
They didn't really have a choice because of the fact that the PGA has already acknowledged the fact that they didn't think that they had enough cash or essentially enough runway in order to compete with Saudi Arabia, potential grabbing PGA players and offering them money that they just couldn't match. They were just saying that the amount of money that they had to dish out in order to keep the loyalty of the PGA players and also to increase the idea of the purses was just going to be too staggering from a long-term deal. So I'm looking at this more so as an economic play from this. And really, I'm also too looking at it when you think about the framework. The PGA has said that the agreement isn't finalized yet. What I'm looking at is, have they already showed their hand, and are they coming in a weakened position by saying that we had no choice? And when you come to the table showing that you are running out of capital, you're looking to partner with an individual that has unlimited amounts of cash, the terms are all not as favorable once that hand has been shown.
Can you just sort of explain that? Because some of the top PGA players took a stand against joining LIV for all of this crazy money that they were being offered, saying we will not leave because of these human rights violations. Was this really an issue that they were worried about? Eventually they were going to lose this battle because they just don't have the money?
Yes, in part, right? When you think about, when you see these deals that Saudi Arabia is making, not just within golf, but you look at what's happening with soccer, the way they're offering hundreds of millions of dollars to athletes, what the PGA is saying is that long term, will our athletes actually break down eventually and to come to the money, right? Because of the fact that there is more so about brand awareness in Saudi Arabia versus athleticism. And golfers, as they think about, does their swing begin to change, right? right? Is there any ailments that may happen? None of the money is guaranteed. But if you get a big front load money on the front end, you know that your athletic career is at least supported financially because of the interest of the brand name that goes forward with that. The challenge, though, is with these golfers, as Rachel just mentioned, human rights, but it goes even deeper than just the 9/11. It's also, too, about can these athletes speak out against LGBTQAI? Can they speak out about activism? As we know now, athletes in America enjoy the freedom of speech in order of speaking out for things that they believe in, what their Constitution is about. Saudi Arabia doesn't have that same freedom of speech that we do, where we can question our government. And what will happen when these athletes begin to question the Saudi Arabian government?
All right, Mike and Rachel, thank you very much. We appreciate it, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.